What's up, everybody? We're gonna do what I'm gonna be calling a Medusa reading. I changed out my statue. Uh, Hecate's off to the side, and we got Medusa here now. A Medusa reading is going to be about. Over here, we're gonna pull on how were you wronged, and over here, we're gonna pull on what needs to happen for it to be made right. Now, whether or not this justice will be served and this situation will be made right, it's up in the air. It's people have free will. Somebody can do you wrong and they should make it right, but they can still choose not to for whatever reason. Usually it's because people are wounded and they don't know how to own up to their shit. So, if you don't know the story behind Medusa, you're probably wondering why. Why is she going to call it a Medusa reading? Well, Medusa was Athena's high priestess, and Poseidon took advantage of Medusa physically, um, to put it in milder terms. Um, and Athena was so angry about the act that she turned Medusa into a monster. She turned her hair to snakes, and she made it so that if anyone looks her in the eye, they will turn to stone. So, not only was she assaulted, but then she was punished for it. That's why this is called a Medusa reading. Alright, so I've got this, I forget what it's called. Maybe it is called Mermaid Tarot. Oh, yeah, it is. There's the box. Mermaid Tarot. We're going to use Mermaid Tarot. Ooh. I, um, sometimes I take cards when they flip, sometimes I don't, but these two flip together. So we'll take that. You know what? I'll straighten them out. Alright, so, how were you wronged? Ooh. It's like, what the fuck? Somebody was defensive to this Hierophant energy. Hierophant is spiritual knowledge, it's commitment, it's... Hold on, what's at the bottom of the deck here? Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is like starting a project, but it's also working together on this. Somebody was defensive to working together on something with you. And that's how you were done wrong. So this must have been something important. Well, it had to have been something important. The Hierophant's here. The Hierophant's keeping record of everything. Everything. And then he's gonna go put it in the Akashic Records. So somewhere in the Akashic Records, somebody's like, oh, I don't know what to do. I gotta come up with a strategy. But I'm not quite fucking doing anything yet. If you're working on something, and it's not just by yourself and you're working on something with somebody, and you get like defensive and start to be like, hold on, I need to like strategize. Like, this isn't normally strategy is great, but when it becomes stunted, when it becomes frozen like this guy, it's not strategy, it's just defensiveness. You know, it's like when you're defensive, you do become strategic, or you can become cowardly. Now, if you you or somebody else had to go into defense mode and they did nothing, they're a coward. Doesn't necessarily make them a bad person. Maybe they just didn't know how to deal with it. Look at this guy. He's like, what's going on? I don't know what to do. Um but if they do something, then they're being strategic. Sometimes it takes time to come up with a plan, but it's a question of how long is this person going to stay in this state? Because if this is making you feel wronged, and if this is making you feel like this guy, like, I don't know what to do. Like, this person's leaving me with no option. This person's left me no option to work on this, to bring this project together. And that's the fucking truth. Just laid out. Um, Sometimes the best strategy is to just lay out the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. Don't hold back anything. Don't hold back anything with the truth. Some situations, yes, you need to hold back. But then others, it's a matter of having the spiritual knowledge to know how to react. And this person that wronged you, they apparently don't have the spiritual knowledge to know how to react. So maybe there's some justice in just knowing that for you. All right, let's pull on. I was gonna say let's pull on how this. Yeah, let's pull on how this can be made right, and then I'm gonna pull clarifiers for both. Normally, I'll start pulling clarifiers first and before moving on, but all right, let's see. Okay. How can it be made right? Three of Pentacles. By working together. Death. Something coming to an end for something new to begin. Transforming this project. Because how it was before wasn't working. It was creating defensiveness and blocking and it's even blocking like the spiritual knowledge that could have been learned for this person that they froze so long they didn't. It turned into you being wronged. It turned into them offending you. Yeah, see, death, Nine of Pentacles, trying to be liberated. You gotta transform to be liberated. Liberated from this defensive energy. And the best way to do that is to transform how you were doing things together. All right, yeah. Let's pull clarifiers. Yeah, I'm going to use the witches for clarifiers. All right, so I was going to say, what is the Seven of Wands energy about? And a bunch of cards tried to flip out of the deck. I'm not going to pull them, but all right. We'll separate these. Like they're still like together, but they're separated a little bit. All right. What's this defensiveness? Why did they freeze up? Ooh. She's attractive. She's fiery. She's passionate. Oh, are they scared of your passion? Your intensity. Oh my god. Your Empress energy. Your passion to grow. Your passion to love. Mm-hmm. They were defensive to start a new journey with you. They were defensive to walk away from their broken dream. It's like, as attractive and as alluring as you are, they're a fool. They don't know how to walk away from what didn't work. They're naive to the fact that once they walk away from this, they'll find their nine of cups. They'll find their wish fulfillment. They don't understand that. And then they created you to be defensive, and you have to take a new journey and walk away from this broken dream. That's the Hierophant here. That's the spiritual lesson. They need to learn how to take a leap of faith and walk away from what's broken, just like you did. You took a leap of faith and walked away from what's broken because you didn't want to stay in this energy, because if you did, it makes you a fucking coward. No offense to people that cower out sometimes. You know, I've done it. I've done it to myself. I stayed in this energy for a long time in 2023, trying to figure out how to maneuver in this situation that felt blocked, because I was too scared to take a leap of faith and walk away. But I had to learn that. That was a spiritual lesson for me. And that's a spiritual lesson for this person as well. But it's their choice on whether or not they want to learn it. They have to tap into their records and read this book of knowledge, the Akashic records that the Hierophant is writing down every fucking detail in. All right, let's pull on the Hierophant. What is the Hierophant here for? Yeah, the Hierophant's here to keep record of this Four of Cups energy, this disappointment, this having this cup and it's just not being taken. They're not doing anything. Are you going to keep sitting here and turn into them? I did that. I was fucking miserable. It still haunts me. That's the lesson. That's what the Hierophant wants you to know and understand. It's like, yeah, you were wronged, but there's a lesson. There's a lesson not just for them, but for you as well. Yeah, a lesson on how to balance things. A lesson how to keep things in flow, no matter how scary it is. See, if you take that leap of faith, you're gonna look like this at first. But that's okay. Things will come into balance. You have to do this in order to bring things into balance. You have to go into the unknown, because that's where you'll find the spiritual knowledge to bring things into balance. Now, for the person that froze up and cowered away from the situation, they're still like this. They're still a scared little boy. They haven't even taken one step forward from here. Maybe they've looked around a little bit, but they haven't stepped forward yet. Because the Page of Wands is exploring, you know? Even though this one's not like moving forward. He's see, he's terrified because he was looking around. Because he's defensive. He doesn't know what to do. He's like, ah! He's got to let go. And that's when this fearful energy of this page will go away, and they'll have learned something, and then they can move on to being the knight. Then they can get on their horse and fucking take action and do some shit. And that goes for you too, if you haven't taken action yet. All right, so let's move on to the Three of Pentacles. How can this be made right? What needs to happen? How does the way things were working before need to change in order to work properly? Work properly. Oh, man. All right, yeah. So underneath the Four of Cups, just discontent with this communication, sharing feelings, connecting. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. I know. All right, Three of Pentacles. How can this be made right? The Sun. The Sun. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. The Emperor. The Emperor. Taking control of the truth. What's the truth, though? We already talked about it. The truth is fucking scared. Something in the past was broken, and it creates this... If you haven't learned the discernment that you needed from what was broken, then you'll stay stuck in this, I don't know what to do. I'm defensive. That's what the truth is. That's... All right, so if they don't make it right for you, you can take control and make it right with the truth, because you know, you're watching this reading. You know better than they do. You have this spiritual knowledge that they're a fool. They've never done this before. They don't know which way to go. They're gonna walk off a fucking cliff. But your power is that you know better. You have the clarity. You have the clarity. You have the light. That little light of yours, you gotta let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Yeah, see? Five of Pentacles. When somebody freezes up like that, they end up leaving themselves in this energy. Be the light for them. Shine your light on them. And that'll actually help them. Even though they did you wrong, you can still help them transform that. Now, if you lay down the truth, yeah, didn't we have the Ace of Swords from the Mermaid deck? And it was laid down. If you lay down the truth to them, and then you give them the spiritual knowledge, if they haven't learned it on their own already, you can still offer them the knowledge, but don't force it on them. Just say, here, look, this is what it is. You know, like, we could work on this, but not how it was, because that wasn't working. And that's okay. I understand you didn't know what to do. that might change their life. That might change their life. You never know. You never know what piece of information can give somebody control, like give them their power back, give them their emperor energy back. That's how you can work together with this energy, by sharing your light. But do not overgive. Do not overgive. If you feel you've got information that can help this person, pass it on. And if they choose to listen to it, great. If they don't, then leave it alone. Leave it alone. And when or if they're ever ready, then they'll pick up that sword, that piece of knowledge that you laid out. And then they'll finally walk away from what's broken, and they'll take a leap of faith. And then things will come into balance for them. But you can bring things into balance for yourself by really understanding this situation and accepting it for what it is, and doing your part. Because that's all you can do. All you can do is your part. You can't control them. You can't make them do anything that you want them to do. Because if you are, then you're not an emperor. You're a fraud. You're a manipulator. Don't manipulate the truth. Oh yeah, see? Shine your light on them, because they're lonely. They're lonely. Show them the way. Show them the path. The path to where we can celebrate together. There can be equal give and take here. But always remember the lessons that you learned from this energy. Because if you don't, it's your own fault if you end up back in this. Just like for them, it's their own fault if they don't do anything. It's their own fault if they choose to stay in this energy. All right. Yeah. That was good. I liked that. Okay, Medusa reading. First one. I think I'm going to do more of these in the future, definitely. Because everybody goes through something where something's done wrong to them and it needs to be made right. And a lot of the times, someone else isn't going to make it right for us. We need to make it right for ourselves. And if we make it right for ourselves, and if this person isn't a piece of shit and they deserve some compassion from you, then, like I said, share the information, allow it to be guidance for them, but don't try to force it upon them. You just got to kind of just plant the seed. Just say, here's the seed, I'm planting it for you. And if they nurture it and they let it grow, awesome. If not, moving forward for you, you did everything you could. You did everything you could. But staying in this defensive energy, if you stay in this defensive energy and you don't look at the truth and take control of how things work, well, I had a really good point and now I'm drawing a blank, but I think that's what it is. It's like you're just gonna stay frozen, drawing a blank, not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go. Stuck in a broken dream. Stuck in a broken dream because you don't want to let go. of how you were trying to make things work. All right. Medusa. She keeps it real. She keeps it real. Cause it's like I was done wrong, but I can make it right. I can make it right. I don't need to turn people to stone. I don't need to be the monster that they tried to make me, or that, or even unintentionally made me. It's like their monster creates a certain energy and then they project it onto you, and then you become the same monster as them, and then you're one and the same. You don't have to be what turned you into a Medusa. Medusa can either go around turning people to stone, or she can seek justice, but in her own way that protects her and other people. All right. Um, see, I also got to bring up again, Medusa was a high priestess. Before Athena turned her into that monster, she was a high priestess. She's still a high priestess. The high priestess knows what's right. They have the keys to hidden knowledge. The hidden knowledge that you need to learn through spiritual lessons with this Hierophant. The Hierophant's keeping record of what you do. And when you start to pay attention to the part that you play in your story, that's when the that's when the high priestess gives you the keys to unlock the information in the shadow. And then it all pulls together. It all pulls together. The higher knowledge and the knowledge in the depths, in the shadows, the light and the dark, the knowledge of the light and the dark. That's the difference between the high priest and the high priestess. The high priestess is the knowledge in the shadows. All right, yeah, that's a good way to explain it. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to explain these things. It's like I know the energy, I understand the energy, but then to try to verbalize things, I'm still learning how to do this. I'm still learning how to translate it so you guys can understand what this energy means. You know, like a high priestess with hidden knowledge. I'm trying to give you the key for the spiritual knowledge. Because within the dark, you will find the light. Within the shadows is the information from all these records that the high priest is keeping, that the Hierophant is keeping. The Hierophant and the high priest are the same. Some decks they call it the high priest, some decks they call it the Hierophant. It's the counterpart to the high priestess, you know, Medusa. All right, guys. I really hope you got something from this. And if you're a cross watcher, I hope you got something from this too, because this channel is all about awakening yourself to the shadows, to why you feel like a fucking misfit, to why you feel disconnected in some way, to why you feel like a fucking black sheep, maybe. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.